Hi, this is BB. So, yesterday morning, well, it wasn't morning, it was in the afternoon. I was in a store and I looked in my transactions in my bank, and there was a transaction for $34.99 that I didn't make. And this is a card I've had for a long time. This is not a card I use frequently. The card, incidentally, was the last time I used it was in a Google Ads account where I advertise my website. This is how I know there's a connection. See, the person who is hacking me or whatever they're doing, I think they're exposing my information. Because I also see that my ID card, according to my mobile security, Asurian, has been exposed. It's been found on the dark web, my ID number. The people are trying to put me in all kinds of things, like put my information all over the place, to make people believe, well, it's not them. It's this person, that person, this person, that person, this person, this group, this group, this group. It's being deliberately done. And the police, if they look into this, they will look and see that if they look into my life, the way I've lived my life, I'm almost agoraphobic in some sense, or I used to be. I keep to myself. Even back in California, when I thought this woman's boyfriend was abusive, it was just observation from in my house. And it's because she lived just right across the courtyard from me. I don't know what the neighbors were doing next door, or to the right of me, or to the left of me, or in front of me. I don't know. And the only reason is because I took an interest in her. I thought she was hot. If that hadn't happened, there's no way in hell I would have paid any attention to her like that. Unless she needed some type of help. Or, pointedly came over and spoke to me. Like the other neighbors. Never paid them any attention. So, I don't go on websites that causes these things. I don't go on websites that would deliberately attack me. It's not, these people are just sitting on me. Now, I'll tell you something. Source of income website. It's not going to pay the bills. It's not going to be worth it for them to sit down. People who are hacking don't want to work. They're not hacking to work. They're hacking to help themselves to proceeds after you have worked. What's the point of it? If they have to do the heavy lifting, they might as well just go get a job or do what we do. They don't want to do that. The point of hacking is to steal after you have earned it, or you have gotten it by some means. Illegal money, of course. Legal, not illegal. Is to help themselves. That's the whole point, I believe, of hacking. If the police are, as they call it, tapping, that's different. That's a court case. But hacking, or is pretty much what it is. Sorry, it's my cat. They're in your computer without rooting around looking for something to help themselves to. So, with that being said, I'm gonna wait until the transaction is actually posted before I get something from the bank, and I'm gonna take it to the police. See, I have to start documenting everything, and I suggest that you guys do that too. Document everything that happens. Document everything that happens. Because all these phone numbers I have are on the dark web, has been found. Even my freaking ID. How my ID would get out there, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're. It's like they're. You know the thing where they're doing too much. It's too much. Whatever they're trying to conceal or put the blame on John Doe and Jane Doe, well, it's out in the world. It's not. It wasn't the neighbors next door. I don't know. I think that's a myth, though, for them. That'll be a myth. But they're not leaving me alone. See, they're the ones who are pushing this agenda. Whatever agenda they have, they're the ones pushing it. Let's say they live stream me taking a crap or something. Excuse my language. I'm being as crass as I possibly can. And they live streamed it somewhere. How many years ago? How many months ago? Let it be. Do you have to destroy my life because of something you did to destroy it before? It wasn't destroyed enough, so you're finishing the job. I don't understand this. Then the whole point was to destroy me. In some way, shape, or form, destroy me. I don't understand why they would do this. I don't know them that well. In fact, I don't know them at all. To say like, well, I did something to them. This is the point. This started a long time ago. This is not something they did overnight. And if I was talking in my home, let's say they were live streaming me. I don't know what the hell that means. And if they were live streaming me, and I was talking in my home, and it was feeling like it was something that they didn't want to be broadcasted, why the fuck didn't they turn it off and come and tell me, well, look here, my boyfriend is not abusing me. Don't talk to me anymore. Don't text me anymore. If you do, I will file a restraining order against you. Boom, that would have been the best thing. Because they didn't want that. That would have foiled their plans. Even to them, they have some sort of standards. They have to be like, well, they feel provoked, even though they can stop the provocation at any time, or just call it what it is. I was one woman in the back. It's not like I had a bunch of men in and out, big strong men that and they're afraid of, or that might punch the lights out. No, one woman, me. They could have told the landlord. They could have told somebody, and the person would have told me, let's just stop. They don't want it. They don't like it. Just leave them alone. Just leave them alone. Don't text her anymore. That's all I was doing. You see, that's the thing. They really couldn't say anything because I was sending the text messages to her. I was open. I was suggesting, my mind was working like an overdrive. And I was sending the text messages to her. I was open with what I was doing. All she had to do was text me and say, hey, look, you know what? My boyfriend isn't abusing me, and please stop texting me. Believe me, that would have been the last text message. But that was not something they wanted to do. And that's something she would hint at all the time, like, I said. I did not know also that they felt they owned me. That they had to censor what I said in my own home. This is the thing. What is the connection between the two of us that I have to censor what I say in my own home? I don't understand. And the landlord, if he had rented an apartment to somebody who had some kind of court case, or they were undercover or something, then he should have fucking said something. I mean, what is this? This is why I want this to go to court. The unfairness of this and the advantage that couple took over me, I want it to go to court. I didn't speak the language where I lived there. I didn't have any friends. So it's hardly unlikely they can pick somebody and say, well, she was discussing their bit. I didn't even know anything about them, first of all, to discuss. I assumed the boyfriend was abusing her. That's anybody's guess. That's not like, well, something taboo. That happens in almost every house. It looks like her man beats up on her. What is so wrong about that? If he isn't, she could have set me straight, because I directly texted her. I wasn't hinting at it only. I texted the woman, texted her on her phone number. She easily could have set me straight, clear this up, whatever it was, and end it. Because this was never about that. It was never about that. It was never about this text messaging crap. This is something they wanted. They wanted this. Well, she did this. She texted. Did you tell her to stop texting you that your boyfriend is? Because, okay, for some reason, if this woman believes that your boyfriend is abusing you, did you just tell her, well, it's either none of her business or no, he's not. Please stop texting. It's just all she had to do. Is that so wrong? Would that break the bank if she had done that? Would the Armageddon show itself if she had done that? I mean, I don't understand this. What is the big deal here? That she has to come after me like this? No, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make any sense. She has to ruin my life because I was texting her when she simply could have stopped it. This is not just a ruse, it's a very flimsy one. But it's set to make people frustrated. You see how frustrated I just got? It's designed to make people frustrated and angry all the time. Because it makes no sense. See, this is the thing. You're right. Somebody told me this before. It's not going to make sense. And it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense because we are intelligent people and they know, they've studied this and they know what will frustrate the shit out of us, and that's what they do. You cannot make sense out of nonsense. It's not going to work because a whole bunch of nonsense, in the end of the day, it's still nonsense. It makes no sense. It's bullshit. And I have to stop feeling like it's my, because I guess a part of me is still wondering if I did something to trigger this, and I did not. There's nothing that I did with those text messages that could end in this result, because there was abuse. It was just not the boyfriend abusing her. It was she and the boyfriend abusing other people. Even then, I was doing these psychic readings. The psychics are telling me of abuse. They're speaking of abuse, right? They know that this is detrimental to their trade, their craft. This is their work, their job, right? They fuck with people for a living. They destroy people for a living. Fun and a living. It's like a twofer. It's like a well-rounded family activity for them. I guess even their kids get in on some of the action. And they're rearing the kids and raising the kids to become just like following in their footsteps. Because monkey see, monkey do. It's a saying. I'm not saying anyone is a monkey. I'm just saying young kids will see it and they will follow their parents. And whoever is adults, they will follow in their footsteps. Because they now see easy money and they now see that, they can bully anyone into submission. And if the person is standing up for their right, they will beat them down. They're aggressive now. A very aggressive set of people who feels entitled. They feel entitled to just taking what they want from anybody, anywhere. They feel a sense of entitlement. I mean, it's like you hack in and see, this one has $1,000, that one has $2,000, this one has $3,000. You like, oh my God, So they start to stew, and then they want it. One day they're stewing on this side of the fence. A month later, they're on that side of the fence. They own it now. They're no longer watching it. They feel they own it. This is how they work. They work themselves up into that state. Well, they own this money now. The money is like here, they're on this side. A month later, they're on that side. It's all theirs now. These people now are in the way of their money. This is how bad it probably is. The people, John A, John Doe, John B, John C, they're now cramping their style from their money. It's their money now. How? I don't know, but they mentally believe it is. Their world, if they believe it is, then it's so. Whether the person is willing to give it up or not. The person doesn't want to give it up, well, they're going to injure them. They're going to do whatever it takes to just push them into the street if they have to. Because they want what they want. Their needs are more important. Their wants and their whims, their desires are more important than people's lives. And they don't care because the police don't care. So, with that being said, see how upset I got there? It didn't start out like this. But every time you try to figure it out, you get angry. I get angry. Because it doesn't make any sense. These are people who are, anything can trigger them. Anything can trigger. They use anything, the most tiniest bit of nothingness will trigger them. It's a bunch of nothingness. It's a bunch of nothingness. But it's like, I don't know if they have to do this or they do it for our sake, to make us look like we're stupid and crazy. Stupid and crazy. Irrational. Schizophrenia. Brain damage. Whatever. Drug use, alcohol, all three. Doesn't matter. Mama dropped you on your head when you were a child. It doesn't matter. Dementia, Alzheimer's. It's all kinds of bullshit. But the thing is, talking to ourselves or getting angry all the time is one. Whatever they're doing also is damaging our bodies, and this is where the problem comes. This is where the law needs to take a stand. They're damaging our bodies. They're damaging our bodies. They don't care. Drug use, you see, when you're drugging people, I wonder if any of them, the group that has done this to me or is doing it, have they ever been somewhere and someone drugged their drink and raped the shit out of them? I don't know. They might have, and maybe, I don't know. I mean, they might have done it. This is why they're so ornery and so angry. Did they get help? Did they seek a counselor? I don't understand. That might have happened. Somebody drugged them and assaulted them. I don't know. Date rape, they call it. I don't know if that's what made her so angry. I don't understand. Well, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I tried it as a rule to stay away from most people because people brings problems. I like my life uncomplicated, quiet. So I don't know if they went out somewhere and someone date raped them. I'm saying this because I want them to know what it feels like for us. It's like they're drugging us and raping us. This is what they're doing. If I wanted to use drugs, oh honey, I would buy drugs and use it. I would buy it and use it. I wouldn't have somebody spritzing and spraying or leaving a lit cigarette maybe with crack in it somewhere where it's just permeating my air. I wouldn't be doing that. I'm a grown woman. If I wanted to use drugs, I would be using it freely of my own free will. I wouldn't have somebody else administering it. It's not legal narcotics where a nurse has to come and administer it and put a pellet up my ass. It doesn't work like that. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever come across. And this needs to stop because drugging people should be something against their will. They need to start looking into this because this is date raping. At its worst, it's date raping. For they're uninvited, you're not going out with them on a date. But if they have to drug us and keep us in an altered state, these people need to be accountable for this. Somebody needs to help us and bring these people accountable. They need to be made accountable. If I want to use drugs, I would use drugs on my own volition. Look, I went to the store yesterday and I saw this Bud Light, this seltzer, whatever, like seltzer water, but hard. It just intrigued me. I bought a 6-pack. It's still in there. I haven't touched it. Because I'm not, I drink like maybe once a year. My point is, I did that of my own volition. If I wanted to use cocaine, crack, whatever is the flavor of the one drug out there, I would do it myself. Nobody needs to have to come in and admit it. But I'm not shy. I'm a grown woman. I'm not a teenager either. This is bullshit. It's just because as a human being, I'm gonna leave with this thought. I just don't understand what race these people are. I don't know if they're trying to pretend, well, they're abnormal or they're what is. I know they're abnormal. But they're not abnormal in the sense that they're special. They're psychopaths, sociopaths. They're people who have no qualms about hurting another human being to get what they want. In fact, it is the order of their day. This is what they do. They hurt people to get money. It's not a matter of if they have to hurt someone anymore, or they may have to teach someone a lesson, or they may have to hurt someone before they understand they have to let go of whatever possessions they have. It's like they're looking forward to it. It's not a maybe anymore. It's like, let's cut to the chase and just get to the hurting and then take what they want. They're not gentle anymore. They're just going to go bam, bam, bam and take what they want, beat the person up, damage them however which way they want, take what they want, and then they're gone. You tell me if you don't see lawlessness in this. I said this. This is going to become like a third world country. Lawlessness will come here. Then is when the police really is going to have problem on their hands. And they're going to wish that they had listened to us now and nipped this in the bud. Because I already am seeing. See, I'm from a third world country, so I have something to compare this to. Most of you were born and raised here. You don't understand what lawlessness is. You think you do, but you don't. You don't understand the frustrations of it. We're just police, but no law. You're getting a taste of it now. It could get really, really bad. Really, really. And so I'm seeing that it's going to, if this is not nipped in the bud, it's going to get there. This sense of entitlement that these people are showing, it's not normal. It's not.